2000, the turn of the millennium. What happened during such a fateful year? Well, the PlayStation 2 came out in March to become the best-selling console of all time. The Kursk submarine sank, killing 144 people. Air France Flight 4590 happened, where a supersonic jet took off and crashed shortly after departing from France. What do all these events have in common? In December of 2000, an album would hit the earth, which would soon become lost media. The album? Death Metal by Panchiko. Panchiko is a British indie rock band which formed in the late 90s. It consisted of a few high school friends, budget equipment, and a desire to make music from whatever inspired them. From 1997 to 2001, Panchiko would slowly make music which never saw the light of day. Until, on some fateful day in 2000, Death Metal would be released. Thank you. 30 copies were burned onto CDs. 30 copies were burned onto CDs which contained 4 songs: Death Metal, Stabilizers for Big Boys, Laputa, and The Eyes of Ibad. It was distributed among friends and reviewers in hopes of getting signed by labels or whatever the hell you do in the music industry. Sadly, positive feedback was scarce, and even though Panchiko would go to start and work on their next album, Kicking Cars, and end up making a few tracks, the band disbanded shortly after, leaving Panchiko and its music to fade into obscurity. Close your eyes. Open them. Boom, it's 2016. It's been 16 years since Death Metal released, with Panchiko having no sign of relevance at all. On July 1st, 2016, a 4chan user found a copy of Death Metal at a charity shop. Remember, the CDs were only sent to friends and record labels with no real public release. 4chan user posted about the album with them being slightly excited at the prospect of owning a rare album.
Hey, I picked this up because it looked interesting. I wasn't able to find any references to it online whatsoever. Even with super obscure bands, you might expect to find some an old Mispas page or mention in some forum. Does anybody recognize the album? I half expected it to be noise pop or some vaporwave wankery. Listening to it now, track 1 is like how a lo-fi show is, with noise panning back and forth. This isn't some viral marketing bullshit. I'm just curious if anyone can shed some light on it, and I'm slightly excited by the prospect of owning a rare album. Peace.
People were curious what played with the CD. Where did the album's cover come from? Who were the people involved in the album's creation? Well, to answer 2 of those questions, the cover is from a panel of the manga Mint na Bakura. When played in a CD player, the music was plagued by this horrible disc rot effect. The disc has been rotting in the case for years, likely unopened. With all this mystery, not knowing anything about the CD, the internet did what the internet did best: hunt people down. And with that, a 4-year-long search has started. From 2016 to 2020, people searched far and wide for any trace of the mysterious Panchiko. Why didn't people look up the names of the people credited on the album? The band members only used their first names in the credits, and they had very common names in that area, so that was a bust. In 2017, the album was uploaded onto YouTube, further popularizing the band. Since the album was released in the early 2000s, there wasn't any trace of them on social media. No MySpace or appearance on old music forums, no modern socials like Twitter, Tumblr, or whatever. Nothing. After 4 long years, a trace was finally...
I'm the original starwalker.
Can you leave?
I'm the original starwalker. Original starwalker out.
That was weird.
Baka.
After 4 long years, the trace was finally uncovered. On January 18, 2020, on the back of the Death Metal album was a barcode. Scanning it led users to a charity shop in Sherwood, Nottingham. It prompted the Panchiko International Search Squad to search for people in the Nottingham area named Owain, because that was the name on the Death Metal liner notes. 2 days later, the Pease stumbled across a Facebook profile named Owain. A message was sent to the account.
Hello. You'll probably never read this, but are you the lead singer of Panchiko?
Owain simply responds, yeah. And with that, Pease won. Panchiko had been found. From there, Owain contacted Wright, one of the other members of the band, who then contacted Faraday. From then on, the members attempted to remaster all the songs on death metal without the disc rot. Panchiko had officially become a band again. They re-released death metal, put out the songs that were recorded back when the band was still in youth, and started making new music with the release of their 2023 album, Failed at Maths. So, what now? Panchiko's back together making music, touring the world, and everyone lived happily ever after. As for me, I've done what I've set out to do with this video, which was talk about my favorite band. But while I have you here... Yep, I'm reviewing death metal. Why only this album? This is me urging you to go into the music mostly blind. Think of this as free salami samples. Strap on a good pair of headphones and like these ones. And let's all get ready to listen to death metal. Track 1. Take a wild guess what it's called. I'll wait. No, it's not called Sumner's Paradise, it's called death metal. Death metal is such a good opener. It's slow and beautifully composed. It samples the strings from the opening theme of Dr. Strangelove, paired with a simple drum loop and guitar. On top of that, paired with Owain's amazing vocals, some chimes, distorted strings, and we got ourselves a killer opening track. This song also samples the Sega Saturn game Burning Ranger's CD warning message. Death metal isn't too loud or abrasive, just amazingly slow. Death metal was not confined to one specific genre and has been described as many genres such as noise pop, shoegaze, trip hop, or lo-fi, just to name a few. Due to the album's name, you expect metal but get a slow, melancholy feel. In an interview with The Guardian, Owain says, "It seemed a good idea at the time to give it a title that would be the complete opposite of what was going to come out of the speakers." Near the end of the song, there's this keyboard solo which crescendos into the outro and just... bliss. Track 2, Stabilizers for Big Boys. It's not stylized like that, ask me why. First of all, the song's name is a reference to the British TV show Scrap Heap Challenge. Unlike the song before it, SFBB is loud, but it isn't abrasive. By hearing the song, I can see why people describe the band as rock, with this song's main instrument being guitar. This is one of the few songs that received feedback from a record label and went to reviewers. Simon Williams, owner of London-based record label Fierce Panda, replied this after being sent a copy. "Death metal, of course, is anything but death metal. Haha. Lovely sweet vocals, done some wiggy stuff. Needs a bit of va-va-voom on the vocals front. I really like this. It would make my ears stand on end if I heard it on the radio. Stabilizers for Big Boys equals great, swearing and ranting in a very familiar style." You can tell that they're from London, who says wiggy unironically. I've heard conflicting things about the song's lyrics. Some say that it's about bipolarness with lyrics that contradict the line right before it, such as,
"I'll pour salt in your wounds. I hope I lighten your..."
That's the only example I have with it. What's the real meaning of the song? Stabilizers for Big Boys, the second song of Panchiko's debut EP, Death Metal. It's about growing up and coming of age. The song presents two sides of puberty, a more sensitive, vulnerable side, and a more sexually frustrated, basically horny side. This perfectly encapsulates the behavior of teenagers during that period of their lives. It also touches on other topics such as alcoholism, family dynamics, loss of innocence, security, and loneliness. Okay. As for the song itself, I really like the guitars and drums. The chorus is this heavily distorted ranting, which is heavily inspired by Ultrasound's Fame thing. By heavily inspired, I mean that these two are quite literally the same song if you listen to them back to back. I'll be saying this a lot throughout this, but Owain's vocals are really my favorite part of the album. The delivery and inflections are just perfect. I know delivery and inflection could have been used interchangeably in that sentence. I just like plaguing my work with flaws intentionally so I can joke about it. Stabilizer for Big Boys is definitely my second favorite on the album. Track 3. I don't know, I'll figure something out editing. There's a reason this song has its tenor gif on it. This song is f***ing amazing. Like death metal, it's lovely and slow. I don't even know what to say for this. Lyrics are good, the instruments are perfect, the vocals are legit. The best part of the song, this isn't even my favorite song off of the album. Laputa really was all we knew. The song's title and chorus reference Castle in the Sky, a 1986 film directed by Hayao Miyazaki, the first such film to be produced by Studio Ghibli. Thank you, genius. Very cool. Track 4, The Eyes of Ibad. This is my favorite Panchiko song, period. Vocals are on point, the mixing and effects are done perfectly, and even though the song lasts 7 minutes, it honestly doesn't overstay its welcome at all. Every second feels important, like it isn't wasted space. You ever listen to a song and think, this song could have ended 2 minutes ago and it would have been fine? This song doesn't do that, and were you listening to Human after all? There's a reason this song's been my Discord status. I can't really explain why I like this song so much. Just one of the songs where you just gotta listen to it and you'll understand. I've never been saying the vocals are the best part of every song, but like,
Don't say it.
I'm gonna say it.
I hope an asteroid kills you.
What the fuck, dude?
The song's title is a reference to the Dune series, and where after taking a drug called Spice, one can get addicted and have blue eyes, or the eyes of Ibad. Oh, what I'm saying is, go listen to this one if you take nothing else from this. Track 5, Cut. It's stylized like that, don't ask me why. I really like this one. While I prefer the previous 4 tracks, this feels like a different style compared to them, which makes sense because the song was never on Death Metal's original release. It was made for kicking cars, which never got finished. I've heard people say that the song sounds like a 2000s A&B, and I completely agree. The lyrics, the synths, the vocals that Owain definitely heard his throat recording. The song embodies a cry for help, and I love every second of it. The song samples Song of the Seashell. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. By James Galway for flute, which works masterfully in conjunction with everything else going on. Track 6, Sodium Chloride. I don't mind this one. I wouldn't say it's my least favorite on the album. I don't have a least favorite. But it's the one I definitely go back to the least. I just used least at least 3 times. Oh, god damn it. Sodium Chloride is good. It's nothing outstanding like the previous tracks. Definitely the most generic song on here. It's a feel-good song, mainly relying on acoustic guitar and vocals. People often compare the song to Radiohead's album The Bends. In fact, most people say that Panchiko is very similar to Radiohead, which, like, I hear it, but I definitely prefer Panchiko. Sorry, Radiohead fans. Sodium Chloride's cool. Not bad, but in comparison to the other tracks, it's just fine. Track 7, Kicking Cars. This song is so damn melancholic, and I love it. The song definitely feels more like trip-hop due to the drums and lyrics. Melody is the drum loop, which is sampled from Impeach the President by the Honey Drippers. Owain's vocals? I know I complimented how good the vocals were in the rest of the album, but during the last chorus, Owain just starts screaming in like bliss. The way this one is composed has always felt like a rainy walkout at night. Kicking Cars is awesome, and I'm glad it was included on this album. If you look at the death metal release, you'll notice that there are 11 tracks, and that I only covered 7 of them. Why? Well, the distorted and corrupted disc rot versions were also added to the release, probably as a way to pay homage to the person who found that CD in that berry shop on that fateful day. Panchiko is awesome, and I'm glad to be a fan. After the remastered tracks of death metal were released officially, Panchiko got back together and started releasing older music that was never released. For example, Ferric Oxide is a collection of demo songs recorded before death metal's release, with the demos being songs that were made from 1997 to 2001, right before the band disbanded. After that, they would go on to tour the world with Live in Nottingham, the first ever live show where they toured the US, playing songs from the Ferric Oxide and death metal releases. Since then, as of the day I'm writing this, say hi, Editor Trey.
I want you dead.
Since then, as of the day I'm writing this, Panchiko's released 2 new albums, Failed at Maths and Ginkgo, with newly recorded music as well as some demos from Ferric Oxide finally seeing the light of day as remade tracks. I love Panchiko so much. From budget equipment to playing live shows to being undiscovered for 20 years. I believe that Panchiko was meant to be found, a hidden gem of a band, if you will. I'll continue to support Panchiko for as long as humanly possible. Thank you, Panchiko, for being awesome. Alright, I've said Panchiko about 25 times in the script. I'm gonna go blow up the Earth
Wait.
with an asteroid.
What the fuck, dude?